here we go. Spawning up at the top right for the Shopify Rebellion. She is your North American Canadian Zerg, Scarlett.
And to the bottom left, in the blue, he's been looking better and better in recent weeks. His name for Storm, Gumiho.
Yeah, last week he looked ridiculously good, especially in TVZ. He had the... How much of his run did you watch last week?
Honestly, not a lot. I turned your stream on a little bit, and I kind of went to bed because I had done the Red Cross Cup right before then, and yeah. Which was, by the way, great games. You, if you have not seen Beyond vs. Hero from that series, you you really should.
Yeah, you mentioned it was an amazing little matchup between the two of them, which is cool to see. Hopefully we'll see that kind of Beyond, actually that kind of Beyond and that kind of hero showing up at IEM Katowice. I really feel like Beyond can turn some heads at this Katowice. I think he's got... I really think people underestimate how much Rogue got under his skin as a player. I don't think people realize how bad Rogue's rise was for Beyond's career.
I don't even feel like a lot of Rogue's victories there were when Beyond was in the military, though.
Yeah, but there was a period of time where Beyond was completely dominant in TVZ. He was 2-on-1ing everyone for like 2.5 years and just winning so many of the tournaments he entered. And then all of a sudden, Rogue, he did this weird roach timing, this roach ravager bust that killed Beyond. He got in Beyond's head, and it completely broke Beyond's stride. And then Beyond went to the military, and then he came back, and there's been just a good number of games that Beyond has played against Rogue where Beyond's had good opportunities, and he'll do something like locking 5 tanks in his main base, or he's just done things that are uncharacteristic of Beyond's micro. And I really feel like, and we know a little bit about Beyond's wrist injury, that it is mostly, if not at this point, all psychosomatic. So the fact that he has a rival who is so inside his head, I mean, I really think that there's something to that. It's we'll see. Time will tell. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's if we see a Beyond. Absolutely, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if he wins Katowice.
Now, he has been, at least on this patch, and yes, we understand this is Scarlett Gumiho. Not a lot has happened just yet. He has, in my opinion, on this patch, he is the best player in the world. He has a TVT group for the most part in Katowice, Group D, which Mario is always going to be scary. Never doubt that. But recently he 6-1'd in 2 best-of-5 secure. The only game that he lost, it was just kind of, he threw it. It should have been his anyways. Even his TVT, which has kind of been a weakness of him. Maybe it's just because Mario is so good. Even that is something that has been looking insanely good on this patch. Whatever it is, you know what, actually, Steadfast, I think it's because this patch, more than anything else, has been forcing players to interact on the map more. Ghosts, you have to actually be a little forward. They can't be at max range. They're not this unpunishable thing. Zergs are incentivized, especially in the late game, to actually play forward because of ghost nerfs, and Broodlords are faster, and everything's a little faster. Disruptors are a little smaller. In general, players are incentivized also by these maps to play the entire game.
Yeah.
And if you're
to get out on there and be engaged, yeah.
Exactly. And if you're a player like Beyond, who your entire skill set is going and just being as aggressive as possible, well, that's going to work out pretty well for you. But Gumiho, pulling actually a page out of Beyond's book, now that you say it. He's got 6 Marines in a drop in the main base. Is in the natural Hellions. They try to dive in. The wall is not there, but Scarlett's going to be able to knock this down anyways. Lings are positioning well. And you know what? Despite the fact that there was no evil wall there, this is cleaned up very easily. And Steadfast, in all honesty, that's going to be better for Gumiho, or for Scarlett, than it would have been if she even had to drop the wall in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting the wraparound on those Hellions, losing. I don't think she's lost a single drone during this instance. No, and she's only lost 10 Lings. This is an outstanding defense from Scarlett. Jeez. This got shut down so damn hard. And now, I mean, she's kind of, the world is her oyster in this game. Gumiho is going to have to make some pretty magnificent moves to come back. And oh, he loses the medevac. Well, Sometimes when it rains, it pours, and right now it is, well, it is torrential for Gumiho here.
And the hilarious thing, Steadfast, is a couple Hellions, though, they're going to try to find... There's actually, okay, there is an opening into the natural, and we've been praising Scarlett for how good she's been in her defense, but it's all going to come crashing down right now. 7 workers go down. Hellions find their way into the main base as well. They're going to get pulled away, the drones are, but there's nowhere for them to run. The initial 6 Hellions and the drop, they found nothing, and then 15 drones go down, and everything we've been praising Scarlett for, Steadfast, it's kind of up in smoke.
Yeah, I was saying Beyond's going to need something miraculous to come back, and well, that was it. That was the miracle there. 15 drones fall for just 4 more Hellions. Scarlett, I still think she's in a good position because her creep spread is extremely nice. And you know, creep team are going to get ignored here. Banshee just going to come on in. Her creep spread is still very nice. She's got the Spire on the way. She's able to rebuild those drones quickly. Now, these Banshees could have something to say. Wait, where is her? Oh, she has not. No, she does have an Overseer, but it's on the other side of the map. And this is a pretty big problem, actually, for Scarlett. 5 more drones going down.
And it's
I don't know.
It's one of those things too, right? Where because it's a kind of a weird timing for the Banshees to run in, and you have 2 of them that you do have to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. They one-shot workers. You get a lot, and because Scarlett lost those 15 early, maybe she'd gotten herself up to 65-ish, I think, drones before she took that damage. So you can recover. It's fine. Losing the 9 more though, on top of the damage that she's already taking, makes this much more easy to compound. It's no longer, okay, well, you can kind of recover from it once, but can you recover from it twice? Now that Gumiho's sitting here on 3 bases, his macro is really starting to speed up. I don't know.
Yeah, and especially these mutas, they were meant to be a surprise. Scarlett delays her upgrades for them. In addition, she actually needs to start her Bane speed. That is pretty critical. But overall, yeah, it's... That additional bit of damage does hurt quite a bit. Now, Gumiho doesn't have his combat shields yet. He's going to have the 1-1 for this push. It's a pretty small push, to be honest. And this could end up getting cleaned up pretty quickly. Scarlett, oh, she really... Well, actually, she doesn't have that many ground units here. Banshee's on the right side, might bait the mutas over here. And Gumiho, going to look to push aggressively. Ooh, needed to be so careful with those units. Baneling's big target fire from the tank. Hitting quite a few of those units. And it looks like the Banshees, I mean, they just kind of cloaked up and retreat on out. Ooh, how many mutas just got targeted down? At least... Okay, it was 2. 2 mutas. That's nice consolation prize for Gumiho here. Scarlett still cleans it all up, but she loses a lot of her creep spread. Gumiho, though, does he not have an armory? Okay, he does, but he never started 2-2. That's a big problem for him.
Man, this is a weird game. It's pretty sloppy from Scarlett after an immaculate defense early, but on the other hand, you say, yeah, Gumiho, upgrades pretty delayed. He wasn't microing his Marines, so slow Banelings, especially with a tank behind it, he pushed forward out of tank range, and then Baneling's connected against a bunch of his bio, which should never happen when you have stim. Your opponent does not have Baneling speed, especially when you're just barely on creep. So decent situation, but Scarlett still doesn't have Baneling. She still hasn't even started Baneling speed. She's got to think this is almost done. And how the hell do you make this defense happen? Muta will go down. 5th base starts to fall. Hey, Mutas, they do find a tank, but a couple of their number fall down as well. And yeah, Scarlett, your hive's just about done, but you got to hold on right now. Lings on the left side are going to get sniped down a little bit as well. And Scarlett, she's got incredible creep spread. Everything seems fine. And then you look at this army, and you realize that Scarlett, also has not started her 2-2 as quickly as she could have wanted to. Her Baneling speed, it's 10 minutes, and it's almost 10 minutes. It's not even done yet. It's going to be a long time before Scarlett feels comfortable into this game.
Yeah, this is a very uncomfortable situation. Look at this.
Ooh.
Quick Spire. Okay. Gumiho did get into a rather quick 3 additional barracks. No, he does have a second factory. Okay. I'm going to be focusing on a lot of unit production, though. Ooh, we would love to get that Overseer. Makes mine so much more effective here, but Scarlett, she will be able to at least temporarily slow down this 4th base, and that's going to drag Gumiho back a little bit. Which is actually really good for her because she's going for this Greater Spire. If she can slip out like 8 Broodlords, and Gumiho is building a bunch of Marauders and Marines and Mines, he's going to get absolutely run over. There's going to be no chance for him.
Kind of funny too, looking at this build from Scarlett. Yes, she took up, what is it, almost 30 drones, 27 drones, and a lot of them all at once. But the thing is, this is kind of an evolution on how Dark has been playing on the patch as of recently, which is get Hive even before you have your 2-2 done, just really quick into those Hive upgrades. Widowmine gets a massive shot, but okay. But you get Hive before you even get your 2-2 because Adrenal is so effective in these setups. If you can get it early enough before the Marine army, before the Terran army gets to that point. And now, well, Scarlett says, okay, if I'm going to get there quickly anyways, I might as well get that Greater Spire. Broodlords are actually an effective fighting force. So 3 Broodlords on the way. That feels low, though. I feel like you want to go to 5 to 6 before it really starts to matter.
Yeah, I would say at least 6. You can use drilling claws. Okay, Scarlett detonating those banelings. I think she manually detonated like a few more than she needed to, but she made sure the mine didn't go off, and it could have been a huge mine. So I kind of like that she did this. 2-2 will complete, and as you said, that adrenal glands is done as well. This is rather scary right now for Scarlett, though. The Broodlords are a lot more mobile, and she still has a lot of creep in the middle of the map. As I say, that Gumiho going to do a good job of cleaning up a decent amount of it. Ooh, does he get these 2 active tumors? No, he will not. Meanwhile, looks like he might have identified that it is going to be the Broodlords because he's building a Thor and he's getting +1 vehicle weapons. But he's going to have a really difficult time dealing with these Broods.
Yeah, big Baneling connections there. Gumiho not quite picking up in time. But you said this was scary for Scarlett, but I kind of would disagree. At this point, she's on 2-2. She has Adrenal, so effectively the Lings are 5-2. She has these Broodlords on the field. This army from Gumiho is not designed to beat what Scarlett has, and she's got 4 more Broodlords on the way. Garantula 7. This big drop on the left-hand side, that's a lot of supply for Gumiho to lose as well. So if Scarlett can look to hit this timing just about right now, as the Broodlords complete, as she is maxed out here, this is going to be an intensely difficult period for Gumiho to survive. He has 1 Thor, and that is like the only bit of truly good anti-Broodlord tech that he has on the map.
Yeah, now with the Broodlords, with the Broodlings being a shorter duration, she's going to need to cover this army very effectively. And she's got this Ling Bane. She needs to kind of keep it babysitting underneath. Gumiho's going to be looking to draw her in with the main force and get a big jump. But I don't think Scarlett's going to let that happen. Oh, as I say that, pretty decent Widowmine shot on a lot of that bio, and a lot of the Lings getting cleaned up. Scarlett's got to be very careful here. She is kind of leaving these Broodlords a little bit in the lurch. There's a drop on the right side that's drawing her away. Widowmine's coming on forward. Oh, Scarlett gonna eat some pretty big shots there. There are a lot of Broodlords, but there's still a lot of Marines here left over. And oh, it's so close. All the Banelings are gone. This is the moment that Gumiho is looking for. He is gonna pounce on top of these Broods. Now, there's just enough of them, and we can see the new speed of the Broodlord, letting them kite very effectively against that bio. But it looks like it's just going to be too much for Scarlett. Gumiho almost breaking through there, but not quite enough.
And now more Banelings are on the way, more Corruptors as well, too. Even if you don't turn them into Broodlords, knocking the Medivacs down, it means that it's so much harder then for Gumiho to fight through the Broodlings that exist. You can't quite heal through them nearly as well, so Scarlett runs forward once again. A couple Vikings have actually joined the fray, which is an interesting idea. They certainly build faster than the Thors do. As the Banelings, they run forward. Some of them even burrow because Scarlett trying to recover some of her glory from 2014. It's not really necessary here, Scarlett. The Broodlord count is just too strong at this point. Gumiho can't fight you. But anyways, Banelings now into the 3rd base. She does need some anti-air, though. She has lost all of it, and these Vikings are slowly, ever so slowly paring away at this Broodlord count.
Yeah, it's not that well, no, it's pretty slow. Oh, there we go. Corruptors. Yeah, this is gonna be a game 1 victory for Scarlett. Nice job.
Yeah, this is how I feel like this is a royal blood thing, Steadfast. I think I've seen this game, like almost this exact game, play out 2 or 3 times, specifically on this map. The big Broodlord push on the right side, as this Terran can't quite go and reconfigure their tech properly. I think I've seen Dark do it a couple times. Scarlett has done it here. What about this map makes that so popular? Or so powerful, I guess?
That's a big question. There's a lot of high ground positions, a lot of places where the Brood Lords are generally effective, and it feels like the Terran player wants to be attacking on the fringe a lot, like on the sides. So I wouldn't be surprised if the concept of the Zerg just kind of hiding stuff in the middle and just going straight up the gut is quite attractive. He's doing this a lot this week, or last week. We'll talk about that though. We have spawning down on the bottom left for the Shopify Rebellion. She's Scarlett in the red.
And we'll introduce him in the middle of the map because that's where he's establishing his base. In the blue, it's down 1. Gumiho.
He has been doing a lot of proxy 3 racks Marine in this matchup. Just a lot of this kind of play. And I mean, the worker pull is better against this than it used to be, but you really can't scout this in time to do a worker pull effectively. Even even if the first Overlord sends straight over. Well, actually, no, if the first Overlord went straight over there. And this is where Gumiho's been putting his proxies all the time. Even with that, it's a little bit predictable. Yeah. But yeah, the drone pull, it's good, but it's not necessarily a guaranteed shutdown.
And especially because this is not your 2 racks, where it very much is. I think a lot of people would, well, I know you've certainly been arguing, I do listen to you sometimes, that the 2 racks is almost dead with a good drone pull because of how much better the burst is really on the drone pull. But you add a 3rd racks in there, and that's 1 extra Marine that it actually does tend to compound quite a good deal. So here, Scarlett scouts it, and immediately a spine gets dropped. And actually, she's going to lose that Overlord, though. I think. I don't know. Maybe it gets high ground.
Get to the high ground, yeah. Well, actually, hang on.
3 Marines.
3 Marines is a lot of DPS. No, never mind. Not even particularly close. It's, yeah. Could have gotten another 20 HP before that went down. Against the proxy 3 racks, you can give up the natural. But if you elect to try and hold it, you have to hold it. You cannot lose the hatch and then play it out from there. Oh, Gumiho is he actually going to go? That would be a very bold move. I don't think I like this.
I mean, he does have this fire base on the high ground that Scarlett ironically doesn't have the best vision of, so it's really hard for her to move up. But now Gumiho, he's just got to get the drones down, I guess. But there's a queen for both sides. Lings get on top of this as well. And yeah, your SCPs fight well, Gumiho, but this is a disaster. Everything's dead. Gumiho, what was that? Scarlett, 2-0.
Yeah, that was...